Good evening. The student fatally stabbed in an incident at William Knibb Memorial High School earlier today has been identified as 16-year-old Kamal Hall. Hall, who was from a Hastings District D-side address in the parish, was the goalkeeper for the school's Da Costa Cup team. He was reportedly wounded by one of his schoolmates after the pair got into a fight over a ring. Reports from the Falmouth police are that at approximately 11:30 a.m., Hall and the other grade 10 student had an altercation, allegedly that he stole a ring from one of his friends. Now, the incident escalated into a physical confrontation when the accused student reportedly used a knife to stab Hall in his back. The injured student was transported to the Falmouth Hospital by members of the school's administration staff, where he was pronounced dead. The student who committed the act was taken into custody by the police. The alleged attacker is now in the custody of the Trelawney police. We will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. In other news tonight, the Ministry of Justice will shortly undertake a public education campaign focusing on the use of alternative dispute resolution (ADR) methods to settle disputes peacefully outside of the courts. Approximately $100 million is being provided through the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service to fund the campaign, as well as other restorative justice activities. ADR programs offered through the ministry include restorative justice and mediation. Portfolio Minister Delroy Chuck said that the ministry will be going into communities to inform persons of these services and to share successes of the program. He added that the public education campaign will seek to address various disputes and emphasized the effectiveness of ADR methods to provide redress and restore relationships. The ministry will be partnering with the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF in the execution of the activities surrounding the campaign. Still tonight, the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, has launched a probe into the fatal shooting of a prisoner who escaped custody at the Montego Bay lockup in St. James. He was fatally shot during a confrontation with the police in St. Anne yesterday. The escapee has been identified as 29-year-old Ainsley Woodburn, a farmer of Belmont District, also in St. James. Reports coming in to our news center tonight are that at approximately 3:45 p.m., a team of officers acted upon information and went to a premises at Huntley Drive in Belair Meadows, St. Anne, where they were greeted by gunfire by Woodburn and other armed men. The gunfire was returned, resulting in Woodburn being fatally shot, and a Glock 9mm pistol, a magazine containing 7 9mm cartridges taken from him. In the meantime, the St. James police have launched an investigation into the fatal shooting of a farmer in the community of Montpelier in the parish on Saturday. The deceased has been identified as 32-year-old Romario Humes, a farmer from the Montpelier community. Reports from the Anchovy police coming into our news center are that at approximately 8:30 p.m., they were alerted by residents who reported hearing gunshots in the area. Now, upon the arrival of the law enforcement officers, Humes was discovered lying along a section of the roadway in his community with multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. The scene was processed and the body was removed to the morgue for a post-mortem examination. Continuing with the news tonight, the Cambridge police have launched an investigation surrounding the death of a man whose body was discovered on a banana farm in Seven Rivers community on Saturday. The deceased has been identified so far only as Lindell Forbes, otherwise called Sonny or Son, also of Seven Rivers. Reports reaching our news center are that at approximately 9:15 a.m., A female farmer went to her banana farm and discovered Forbes's body lying on her farm and summoned the police. Upon the arrival of the law enforcement officers, the body was seen lying on its back at a section of the farm. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue for a post-mortem examination. Still tonight, the Kingston East Police seized 2 firearms yesterday as operations continue across the division. At approximately 5:50 p.m. during the operation, a garage on Mountain View Avenue, Kingston 3 was searched. One AK-47 rifle with a magazine containing 2 7.62 cartridges was found wrapped in a bag beneath a container. No arrest was made. Now, this incident follows the seizure of one Hebron KY AM-15 multiple caliber M16 rifle and a magazine containing 30.45.56 cartridges in the Dunkirk community. The seizure that took place at approximately 11:20 a.m. resulted in one man being arrested after the weapon was found beneath the floor of his bedroom. His identity is being withheld at this time. Heightened operations continue as the police remain committed to ridding the streets of guns, gangs, and gunmen. In other news tonight, the Junction Police in St. Elizabeth are probing the fatal shooting of a man, the shooting and wounding of another, and the rape of a female at their home in Nemmer Town yesterday. The deceased man has been identified as 29-year-old Jermaine Green, otherwise called Jimbo, farmer also of Nemmer Town. Reports from the police coming into our news center are that the 3 family members were at home at approximately 8:15 p.m. when 2 men armed with handguns forced their way inside their house and demanded money. Mr. Green reportedly attacked one of the gunmen, and when their demands were not met, the men opened fire, hitting Green and the other man, and raped the lone female inside the house. They then robbed the family of an undetermined sum of cash, several cell phones, and other valuables. Now, the police were summoned, and upon their arrival, the 2 male victims were rushed to the hospital where Green was pronounced dead and the other man treated and admitted in critical condition. The female was also taken to hospital and treated. Continuing with the news tonight, the National Works Agency, NWA, is advising the motoring public that a detour is now in effect along the Grants Pen Main Road in St. Thomas. The detour forms part of the new alignment under the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project, SCHIP, and will facilitate the commencement of works to create an embankment for the southern lanes in Grants Pen. Now, the route is part of the new highway and will accommodate vehicles in either direction. Manager for Communication and Customer Services at the NWA, Stephen Shaw, said that works on the Grants Pen Main Road will continue for a period of 6 months. During this time, works to be done include the construction of the permanent access into the Grants Pen community and the installation of traffic signals. Motorists who will be using the detour during the period of works are being advised to obey the instructions of flag persons and posted warning signs. Still tonight, the St. James Municipal Corporation, through its Disaster Preparedness, Hazard Mitigation and Safety Committee, will be staging a major earthquake simulation exercise on March 28 across the town of Montego Bay. Now, this was announced by the Disaster Preparedness Coordinator for St. James, Tamoy Sinclair, at a meeting of the Disaster Preparedness, Hazard Mitigation and Safety Committee of the corporation. The simulation exercise will be carried out in partnership with key stakeholders to include the Ministry of Tourism, the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, Jamaica Fire Brigade, Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the Jamaica Information Service. Ms. Sinclair said that the drill is aimed at assessing the readiness and responsiveness of business establishments and government agencies in the city to a major earthquake. Now, according to Ms. Sinclair, the exercise will be conducted within the context that a crisis situation and a significant infrastructural damage have been triggered in the resort town by a high-magnitude earthquake. She explained that while earthquake drills will be carried out independently by entities across the resort town, the major simulation exercise organized by the Disaster Preparedness, Hazard Mitigation and Safety Committee will be held at the Jewels Grand Resort, Rose Hall. Now, following the exercise, Ms. Sinclair pointed out that the municipal corporation will assist companies with gaps in their disaster management plan to strengthen and streamline the documents. We turn our attention now to tonight's COVID-19 update, where the Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 26 new COVID-19 cases as well as 2 deaths yesterday, increasing the infection total now to 128,565 and total deaths to 2,969. There were 76 recoveries in the last 24 hours, increasing the total to 80,330. The new cases comprise 17 females and 9 males, ranging in age from 0 months to 73 years. In tonight's COVID-19 parish breakdown, St. Catherine and St. James recorded 7 cases each. Westmoreland recorded 5 cases. Kingston and St. Andrew recorded 3 cases. Trelawney recorded 2 cases, while Clarendon and St. Mary recorded 1 case each. The deceased are a 73-year-old male from Hanover, whose death was previously under investigation, a 78-year-old male from St. James, whose death was previously under investigation as well. The deaths occurred between February and August 2021. And those are the stories making news. We now take a break and then join Christopher Scott with the latest in sports.
Hi, I'm Chris Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. Vaccination has always been a critical part of protecting the health of our Jamaican people. The more of us who get vaccinated, the greater our chances of slowing the spread of COVID-19. The COVID-19 vaccine now available to Jamaica has met all the required safety and quality standards. I will take the vaccine, so let's vaccinate to stay safe.
Message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Thank you so much, Shelly-Ann. Mello TV Sports gets out of the block with some track and field news as Jamaica is heading home with 3 medals and a 12th place finish from the 18th Annual World Indoor Athletics Championships in Belgrade, Serbia. The Jamaican team finished the 3-day event on a high, mining gold in the women's 4x400 meters to add to a bronze from the women's triple jump on yesterday's 3rd and final day. The team of Janelle Bromfield, Janeve Russell, Ranisha McGregor, and individual medalist Stephanie Ann McPherson clocked a season's best 3 minutes 28.40 seconds to finish ahead of the Netherlands, who clocked 3 minutes 28.57 seconds, and Poland in third with 3 minutes 28.59 seconds. This was the only second time in history of the championships that Jamaica took home the gold in the women's 4x4, the first being at the 1993 edition in Toronto, Canada. Kimberly Williams leapt a season's best 14.62 meters in the women's triple jump as she added to her silver from the 2018 edition in Birmingham. Yulima Rojas broke her own women's world record with a leap of 15.6 2.74 meters to win the event. Jamaica missed out in the women's 800 meters as despite leading for most of the way, Latoya Gould had to settle for fourth in a time of 2 minutes, 01.18 seconds. The event was won by American G. Wilson in a season's best of 1 minute 59.09 seconds. Jamaica's other medal was from McPherson's third place finish in the 400 meters on Saturday. Jamaica had won 2 medals, both of them silver in the most recent staging in Birmingham, United Kingdom in 2018. Meanwhile, Ethiopia topped the table with 4 gold, 3 silver and 2 bronze, becoming the first African nation to do so and the first time that another country other than the United States has topped the table since 2004. The next edition of the championships will be held in China 2023. In other news from the Games, Olympic champion Mondo Duplantis again broke his own pole vault world record with a huge clearance of 6.2 meters yesterday. The 22-year-old Swede had promised something high at the event and set the new mark at his third and final attempt. He had already secured his first world title with a clearance of 6.05. Duplantis had a 6.19 meter clearance on March 7 at the Belgrade indoor meeting at the same Stark Arena, extending his record from 6.18 that was set in February 2020 in Glasgow. Russian race walker Yelena Lashmanova has been banned for 2 years for doping and will be stripped of her Olympic gold medal. Lashmanova won gold in the 20-kilometer race walk at the 2012 London Olympics and also at the World Championships in Moscow the following year. The Athletics Integrity Unit says the ban is backdated to March 9, 2021, and all her results between February 18, 2012 and January 3, 2014 have been disqualified, the AIU said. Going over to cricket news now, West Indies Women's World Cup semi-final hopes took a huge blow as they suffered a surprise 8-wicket defeat to previously winless Pakistan at Seddon Park in Hamilton, New Zealand today. Off-spinner Nida Dar took 4 wickets for 10 runs as Pakistan defeated their opponents in a match delay by more than 5 hours due to heavy rain and reduced to 20 overs per side. Deandra Dottin top scored for the Windies with 27 from 35 balls as the Windies made it to 89 for 7, but Maniba Ali's 37 for 43 balls and an unbroken stand of 33 between skipper Bisma Maroof 20 and Umayya Sohail 22 got Pakistan over the line with 2.1 overs to spare. The West Indies remain third in the table, 2 points ahead of India and England, but they have played a game more and they have the worst net run rate of their contenders before their final group match against South Africa. With Australia already through, England are realistically in a fight with South Africa, West Indies and India for the last 3 semi-final places. Meanwhile, the West Indies men's team will now be eyeing the third and what could be the deciding test starting on Thursday to win the series against England. This after the second match ended in a stalemate at the Kensington Oval in Barbados yesterday. England, who started the day on 40 without loss, eventually declared on 185 for 6. Dan Lawrence with 41 from 39 balls and Ben Stokes and Johnny Barstow with 19 and 29 respectively were able to add quick runs. Versami Permal and Jaden Seals ended with 2 wickets each. Set 282 to win, England were in pole position after 12.1 overs as the Windies found themselves at 39 for 3. Captain Craig Brathwaite, however, anchored his side to see out another 52.5 overs for the loss of only 2 wickets. Jermaine Blackwood added to the Windies' resistance with 27 from 84 deliveries, while Joshua De Silva was 30 not out from 63. The day, however, belonged to Captain Brathwaite, whose 56 came off 184 deliveries, with the Windies skipper facing a total of 673 balls for the entire game. Jack Leach ended with 3 for 36, while Mahmood had 2 for 21. The last game will be played in Grenada. LeBron James passed Karl Malone to become the NBA's second all-time leading scorer, despite the Los Angeles Lakers' loss to the Washington Wizards. James scored 38 points in the 127-119 defeat, taking his career total of points to 36,947. Only the man Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has scored more points than the 37-year-old power forward. The Lakers have not won back-to-back matches since they claimed 4 in a row between December 31 and January 7. James scored 6 points in the first quarter before a dunk and 3 three-pointers brought him level on points with Malone. A layup later in the second quarter that took him beyond Malone's record. It was not enough, however, to stop the Wizards overturning a 16-point deficit to end a 6-match losing streak. Elsewhere on the night, the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Milwaukee Bucks 138-119, and the Cleveland Cavaliers came past the Detroit Pistons 113-109. There was also a 129-108 victory for the Charlotte Hornets over the Dallas Mavericks. Now to end tonight's sports package, we present you with the play of the night, Ja Morant's dunk versus the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Melton. Lob. Oh, baby! Goodness.
I thought Melton had thrown this and no way he could get it. Morant again catches it behind. Watch this. He's behind him. He catches it, partner. Throws it down.
Full extension by Morant. Timeout, Cavaliers.
And those are the stories making sports news tonight. I'm Christopher Scott. Do remember, stay safe and pleasant viewing.